In this tutorial, we'll review scanning attendee badges if you're a conference employee or volunteer. First, let's review how to find an attendee's badge if they have questions. On the app, all you'll need to do is click the Badge tab at the bottom of the screen, and that will show the attendee's badge. You can scan this badge. If they don't have the app, they may have a paper badge, so ask them to provide that or check in at the CEU help desk in order to get one. To find an attendee's badge on the website, they should click their name next to the gear icon in the upper right corner and choose My Badge. In order to start scanning badges, you need to be part of a conference. So join the conference, and if you have any other questions about that, check the regular user tutorial. I'm going to do everything through the test conference for this tutorial. To scan attendee badges, we'll have to go to the Settings tab, and then you'll notice this top panel that says Scan Badges, and it lists the conference name. Now, if you're an employee or volunteer for this organization, and you don't see this panel, you may need to log out and then log back into the app to update your status. When you're ready, you can hit Scan Attendee Badges, and that'll open this panel. Now, I haven't selected an event yet, so we have to do that first before we can scan anybody in or out. So I'll hit Select Event, and you'll see a list of all the upcoming events or just all events in general. You may also want to consider bookmarking the events that you're going to be working at so that you can easily see them in the Bookmark tab. Now, in this conference, I only have one event, so I'll go ahead and select that one. Once you've selected an event, you'll see the name, the location, as well as the start and end time, and buttons to scan attendees in or out of the event. These buttons will give you visual cues to prompt you which one to select. Now in this case, this event is starting soon, so the Scan In button is highlighted in green, indicating that's probably the one I want. I can still click Scan Out if I needed to get somebody out of an event. So we'll go ahead and hit Scan In, and which will open the camera, and I'll be able to scan the attendee badge. After scanning the badge, you'll see it listed in your recent badge scans with a question mark. The question mark just indicates that this scan hasn't been verified or synced with the server yet. Badges will only sync to the server when you click here to sync badge scans. To learn more about these scans, I'm going to go to View All Scans. On this page, you'll be able to see all of the scans that you've done, as well as their verification status. In other words, have they reached the server, and are we sure that this scan was recorded correctly? To verify scans, you can click the icon next to the scan description. You can hit OK, and now you notice the green check mark indicating this scan was successfully received by the server and we have record of it. So I've scanned another person in. I'm going to go to View All Scans and click Verification, and now you'll notice that I have some errors here. In this case, a person hasn't been linked to badge 401 yet, so we can't store their scan, and you're getting that warning. Now, most of the time, these are okay to ignore until you start getting towards the end of the conference. It may just mean that the conference administrators haven't added this person yet. Now, if you still see a lot of errors toward the end of the conference, it's time to contact your conference administrator and let them know that some of the scans that you've done may not be registered correctly, and you can work together to get that solved, or contact support@CEUHelper.com. One major difference between this version of CEUHelper and previous versions you may have used is that before you were asked to only scan people who should get CEUs. That's no longer the case. Now we'd prefer if you scan everybody. That way we have lots of data to indicate where people were and at what time to make decisions if there were disputes. So in this case, if a person tried to leave the event and it's way too early to do so, you'll notice that the scan out icon is grayed out. If I click that to scan someone out, I'll be provided with an option about whether or not this should be a valid or invalid scan. Now, it may be that the event ended early, and it's okay that people are leaving, and so we want to make that valid. Now, if the person's leaving early or maybe they came late, you can choose invalid, and that will still register the time that you scan their badge, but it will alert the conference administrators when they're reviewing these that something was wrong about that scan. So if I click invalid, you'll see that I now have a scan for an invalid checkout rather than a valid one. Now, always make sure before you're done volunteering for the conference that this yellow button is disappeared from your screen. If you still see this, it means that you might still have scans that haven't reached our servers yet. So make sure to click that, and it should go away if all your scans have made it through to the server. You can also verify all your scans like we did before. We would view all scans, and we click the resync icon. Again, you want to see all green check marks. If you don't, it's time to contact the conference administrators or support at CEUHelper for more information. I hope you have a great conference, and if you have any questions, again, feel free to contact support@CEUHelper.com.